Welcome back, everybody! Last time, we started this case, and we dealt with Simon Blackquill and a clown. And somehow Sadmod, he managed to just fly over here in less than a day, and... You know, he's somehow just... I don't even understand. How did he get here so fast? How do you have any time to really get bearings on this? I mean, yeah, he has, like... He seems like he knows everything there is to know about this case. So weird. But anyway, now we're cross-examining Miss Clown Lady here, Giru, and we're gonna see what she has to say, and of course we're gonna see what her balloons have to say too. No, not those kind of balloons, people. Come on, man. I swear. So the murder must have happened sometime in those 20 minutes, correct? But 20 minutes isn't a lot of time, is it? I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say? That's what happened, you know? Isn't that right, Simon? Yes, Giru and I can both confirm that Master Toneido still lived at around 4 p.m. Oh yeah, you can, can't you? See? Uh-huh. Simon and I were standing in the hallway in front of the dressing room. No, you weren't! The fact that the two of you were there in front of the dressing room means you were able to see everyone who went in and out, right? Of course! Or are you insinuating that I was daydreaming or sleeping while I was standing up or something? No, of course not. I saw everything, I tell you. Fine, so you say anyway, but did you really? What do you mean, but did you really? Oh, I swear. Before Uendo discovered the body, the only person who could have gone in there was Bucky. Only the defendant and Uendo entered at around the time of the murder. That's right, that's why it must have been Bucky who killed poor Shisho. The time of death is so broad. Yet they clearly say he was alive at 4 p.m., so why can't they just narrow down the autopsy report a little more than that? It seems a little weird to me. But alright, whatever you say. Whatever you say. Let's take a deep breath, okay, Giru? So not a single other person set foot into the dressing room during that time? If he died from suffocation, couldn't they just try to give him CPR or something to bring him back before it was too late? And that can work, can it? I already told you over and over, didn't I? There was nobody else. I must apologize on the lawyer's behalf. Even her memory is that of a spring chick's. Please overlook her transgressions as best you can. Oh, I see. Poor thing. Hang in there, sweetie. Hey, who are you calling a bird brain again, buddy? You're a bird brain, obviously. Come to think of it, a little while before Bucky showed up, Jugamu was barking like mad. Jugamu? That's my dog, yeah, I keep him at the theater. Let's see. The twisty twist twist. And bloom! There you have it, my cute little Jugamu. He's kind of creepy looking. Oh, but he's really, really good boy. And why was Jugamu barking? Think it's because he saw someone suspicious? If so, then we have a new suspect in this case. Now why he was barking again? I remember, because it was time for me to feed him. So I went into his yard and gave him some food. Hadn't somebody have slipped into that dressing room while you were doing that? Nope, the door out into the yard was wide open. I would have seen if anybody went into the dressing room. Prosecutor Blackquill, come down to the stand for a sec, please. How many times must I do this? You saw what Giru was talking about, right? So why didn't you mention it before? I can't be expected to remember every minute detail. Well, remember them now, please! Did Giru go out into the yard? So aggressive. Yes, I remember now that she went to feed Jugamu. She's not wearing her clown attire here, which is kind of weird. Also, Jugamu, I guess, is indeed a real dog and not a balloon dog. I was going to say, how does a balloon dog start barking exactly? And I saw her looking towards the dressing room quite frequently as well. You recall anything else? It looked as though she were feeding the dog a great quantity of dumplings or something. Jugamu couldn't finish them all, so he buried the rest in a corner of the yard. That's about all I can remember. Simon's statement updated in the court record. It looks like Giru was telling the truth. Your Honor, I'd like Giru's last statement added to her testimony. As you wish, defense. As you wish indeed. I was in the yard, but the door was wide open, so I could keep watch on the dressing room. You know what this means, right, Giru? You weren't in the hallway the entire time after all, were you? Okay, so I did go out in the yard, but it was just for a second. Our door was wide open, so I could still see the dressing room the whole time. The door was open, so she could still see the dressing room? Prosecutor Blackwell, I need you on the stand again, please. What am I, your lady in waiting? Do you remember anything about the time Giru was in the yard? Simply that Jugamu buried the food he couldn't finish in the corner of the yard. It's about all I can remember. Thank you! I didn't really need to hear about the dog again, though. When I finished feeding Jugamu, I returned to the hallway. And then I saw Bucky go into the dressing room, no question about it. Okay. So around the time of the murder, Giru and Simon were hanging out just outside the dressing room. Guess I'm going to have to find a flaw in there somehow if I want to get anywhere. Well... Doors wide open so I could keep watch on the dressing room? Now wait a second. Am I seeing this map correctly? I don't think that's possible. If I'm seeing this map correctly, I don't think that's possible. You're in the yard, but the door's wide open, so you could watch on the dressing room. Feels most likely I gotta present the map on this one. Okay, okay. Is that what we're doing? What we are doing? Is that what we are doing? Hey, look at his new information. Where Bucky came in the theater, Giru was outside feeding her dog, and no more dumplings. The dog was left over in the yard. Well, I guess I'm gonna go and present the map. Objection! Objection! So you're able to keep an eye on the dressing room while you were out in the yard? Is that correct? That's right, the door went into the yard was wide open. Sorry, but that makes zero sense. Take a look at this diagram in the backstage area. There's a clear contradiction between this diagram and the witness's testimony. Oh? I'm afraid I don't understand, Miss Sykes. Please point out what contradicts the witness's testimony. Alright, we've seen that. Giru was in the yard near the doghouse. Prosecutor Blackwell even saw her there. While she was out there, the door to the yard had been left open. Oh, I see. Yes, the door to the yard was wide open, as Giru said. It would have blocked her view, making it impossible for her to see the dressing room. What? No way. But even if there were admittedly a few moments Giru was not keeping watch, how much would that really affect this case? It would greatly affect this case. When the spot prosecutor Blackwell stood, you couldn't see the dressing room door either. Anyone could have entered the dressing room during that time without being seen. Eek! Giru, why did you try to hide the fact that you weren't watching the dressing room? What?
Objection.
Objection. Hide the fact? Speak as though you think she had something to do with the murder. Rather than deliberate deception, it was more like a simple oversight, right, witness? Well, I was so shocked by what happened, I was just confused, that's all. Even though she is trying to keep us up a brave front as an entertainer, the truth is that she is being torn apart by grief. For her mind to be in turmoil is hardly unexpected. Yes, it must be very difficult indeed. To a disciple, one's master is akin to a real parent. Surely her shock is immense. The way this lawyer tries to pin the blame on this poor soul at the first opportunity. All I can say is defense attorneys are heartless creatures indeed. But I wasn't! That wasn't what I was trying to do! It was beyond your comprehension, defense. Your unskilled argument is scarring this witness even further. If we asked the people of this courtroom, I'm sure they would agree. Well, the gallery doesn't get a say in this. Are you afraid to find out that they think ill of you, or that perhaps you are in the wrong? Instead of now that your keen sense of hearing you are so proud of. He's right! That was harsh! He didn't even have to go that far! I feel kind of sorry for the witness, and that why is the lawyer's outfit so yellow? No, I was just trying to find the truth. Is it just me, or does this game have like the most gallery talk out of any game in the series? I swear. I feel like I've never seen this much gallery talk ever. And I swear one of the games I played, was it Apollo Justice? I swear that game did not have hardly had any gallery talking at all, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. This game's got a lot compared to the other games. Why is the whole gallery siding with Prosecutor Saad Mahdi? Because it's the power of suggestion. No, I'm kidding. That's freaking Blackwell's thing. The people understand. They know what is right and what is wrong. That lawyer's still in training, isn't she? Why is she all by herself? I hear the voices of the gallery. I can hear the voices of their hearts. It's so intense. I feel so alone up here fighting by myself. Are you afraid, child? It is ludicrous to come to a trial with such a paltry preparation of the soul. I command you to leave this courtroom at once. But I can't give up. I have to keep pressing on. As long as there was a moment when nobody was watching the dressing room door. Defendant can't be convicted solely on Prosecutor Blackwell and Giru's testimonies. Even now you would continue to resist. You are childish in defeat as well, I see. I'm not out for the count yet, Buster. I'm just getting started. Despite your posturizing, is it not true that your resolve could crumble at any moment? With but a little push, you would surely succumb to despair. A little push such as with this piece of conclusive evidence. Conclusive evidence, huh? That is correct. We found a critical piece of evidence at the scene of the crime. The victim's dying message, which clearly implicates the accused, Bucky Wet. Let me guess, he wrote his name in, like, the flower or something? Because that always works out so well. Look at the Japanese playing cards known as Kurata, lined up on the table. Special English version Kurata cards spell out a message. A message, Wet number 4. Wet number 4? You mean wet noodle number 4? Yes, wet noodle number 4 is the 4th head chef of Wet Soba is also known. We have to look, as we did get a new profile. For Uendo Toneido, age 34, balloon artist and her master's senior disciple. She has 12 years of performance under her belt. It's a lot of years of performance. Message points to none other than the accused Bucky Wet. No! That makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Wow, great job, Mr. Prosecutor.
Oh no, this is really, really bad. What do I do? What do I do? Crime scene report updated in the court record. Eh, we'll see about that. Still carry on your futile fight in the face of irrefutable evidence. I mean, of course, obviously. Okay, well, anyway, let's just add that photo. That's all they did. You can say whatever you want, but we don't know until... It's cruel to give the accused false hope. Let's see. You can say whatever you want, but we won't know until we blank. It will only compound his suffering. Wise people of the courtroom, do you not agree?
He's right! It's cruel to make him suffer when there's conclusive evidence! One incompetent noob! Why feel bad for the victim and the defendant?
What? But I'm trying to prove Mr. Wet's innocence here! And then we can hear them defense. Their voices implore you to save the accused soul. It is time for you to let it go and move on, you inexperienced lawyer. You lack the competence with which to accomplish anything meaningful here. Is he right? Is this too much for me to handle on my own?
What good is she doing anybody? She should just quit right now!
Yeah. Now, defense, leave everything to this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
Silence!
Silence! Oh, yes. Excuse me, did you just say silence? How dare you? I will send you to the bottom of heck for that. He's trying to use your keen sense of hearing against you to manipulate the trial, Athena. What a cheap trick for a supposedly holy man. So they did give him a side view, I guess. That's okay. I thought they were not gonna go there. I'm like, oh, this dude wanted to be her partner, even though that would totally work out, you know. So Simon. And you fop doddles in the gallery. Can't a man watch a trial in peace? It's also kind of weird seeing his freaking model reverse compared to the prosecutor's table. This inexperienced amateur is about to turn this trial around.
Does that prosecutor really think she can turn things around?
The mood in this courtroom is starting to change. Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you doing at the defense's bench? I grew bored of watching from the gallery. Besides, if I were to leave this trial to this spring chick, and lose my favorite soba shop in the process, I will be quite cross. You voluntarily stand on the side of impurity and sin. Truly, what a fool you are. To think you were so easily manipulated by his parlor tricks. Whatever happened to qualified and capable Athena? I just let my guard down a little bit, but it won't happen again. Then gird up your loins and steel yourself for battle. I'm not girding up anything in this skirt. Okay. But I am ready to get serious. It seems there is now yet another soul I must cast down into heck. Exactly. I was in prison for a long time, and heck sounds no worse than cell, to be honest. Ah, but the fires of heck will not be the end of your suffering. For the sin you have just committed, you shall surely be reborn as a panda in your next life. A white and black reverse panda, that is. It fits his color scheme anyway. And you shall be put in a zoo to be exposed to public ridicule. A threat like that won't work on Prosecutor Blackwell. After all, he's already used to looking like a panda in his life. Who were you calling a panda? Sorry. I see that you're both prepared to face the fires of darnation. Giru, thank you for your service. You may step down now.
Okie dokie. Bye-bye, balloon.
Oh no, bye-bye balloon indeed. Does everything have to be about balloons with her? Now then. I have a witness prepared to testify about the Karuta cards. And who is this witness this time? The first to discover the body and someone who witnessed the crime scene firsthand. Mr. Uendo Toneido. He's also one of his sons? One of his kids? That's crazy. Wait, what is this other dude's last name? Oh yeah, it's Wet. Durr. So we got 2 Toneidos and then a Wet. Alright, makes sense. Time has come for that ponytailed pair over there to finally let it all go and move on. Very well, let's bring in this witness then. Yeah, so let's do just that. Dang, he looks crazy. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I am the Rakugo storyteller, Uendo Toneido. Even if my performance isn't worth watching, I will certainly watch my words. I wouldn't want to say anything thoughtless and get arrested. Because you're the one who did it, right? After all, that'd be a Raku no hee hee. Thank you, everybody. Good night. I was gonna say, you can't leave yet. You only just introduced yourself. Oh my. Well, I don't want to give any testimony. That'll certainly indict me on the murder. Are you a fan of mine, miss? Would you like my autograph? One moment. An autograph for the free fan? Why, thank you. Ow! What do you think you're doing? You don't need to stand on the ceremony. My fan deserves a fan, after all. A fan for a fan. Nice one. Oh, why, if it isn't Simon. How are you on this fine day, sir? Or forget. Uendo Toneido. Age 28. A Rakugo storyteller and junior disciple after Giru. He has less experience in Giru, yet he's become a higher rank than her. I see. Sounds like motivation for murder. If he's a higher rank, therefore more likely to inherit the stuff from him. Right? Quite a dilly of a pickle we found ourselves in, wouldn't you say? I don't believe I've ever seen you talk quite so much, Uendo. Never performed in a place like this, you know. I got butterflies here, can't you see? Why do I always get the weird ones? That sounds familiar. Didn't Phoenix just say that recently, too? Pardon me, witness. As much as I enjoy your banter, I believe we had better return to the case at hand. Well, I suppose you're right, in that case. I was promoted to Fuwatsume yesterday, and received the stage name of Uendo. Sure was our way of celebrating my new name and middle rank, standing. And then that happened. Huh. I never dreamed something like that had happened, not in a million years. Just as I got my chance to start repaying my debt to Shisho, too. Yeah, plus I'm worried about Giru. She clung to Shisho, poor thing. Told her to keep a stiff upper lip. Stiff like rigor mortis. Keep telling those lame jokes and Shisho will come and scold you from the grave. We're not getting yelled at, you know. If I'm not seeing her again. Uendo, please! As charming as your various characters are, isn't a Rakugo stage? Let us hear your testimony now, witness. To the court about the evidence left at the scene, the proof of the accused's guilt. Witness testimony. Shisho's dying message. I noticed Shisho's dying message right away. Stiff cards are right there next to the stiff, you see. Hey now, enough with the silly puns already, hee hee. Anyway, I got the meaning right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky. That was the Master's final message left as he was drowning in soba broth. So like Shisho not to write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple wasn't his style. Oh yeah? Well, that certainly was more entertaining testimony than usual. The variety of characters performed by the witnesses was absolutely splendid. But he shouldn't be performing any characters in the first place, Your Honor. And Uendo, the murder weapon hasn't been determined yet. So how can you say the victim was drowned in soba broth? So obviously all you have to do is look at this crime scene. He was found with his face shoved in a bowl. It's only natural to assume he was drowned in the broth for the noodles. Except we're not here to assume things, Uendo, so please stick to just the facts. My, it's so like a soba chef to kill someone in this way, wouldn't you say? And with the Karuta message she left behind, it's clear Bucky Wet did it. Setting the issue of the murder weapon for now. The dying message certainly does seem to be irrefutable evidence. Indeed, it proves the absolute guilt of the accused. Oh, even I've got to admit I can't see how that message could mean anything else. Bucky used soba for the deed, all to get back the soba shop deed. Whoa. I was totally expecting comments from the gallery there again. Ugh! Testimony makes Mr. Wet look super guilty. I have to do something. That's his conclusive evidence. What a farce. What do you mean, Simon? What's this? I thought you said you weren't planning on asking me for help. I did and I won't. Thank you very much. Simon must have found an inconsistency in the testimony. I better listen carefully and see what he found. Yeah, I mean, if I get 2 strikes, I gotta have some consultation. We don't want to do that, right? Shisho's dying message. I noticed Shisho's dying message right away. Well, did you now? Did you really notice it right away? Because I kind of have my doubts on that anyway. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, actually. Alright, I'm gonna press you. Pressing right now. Uendo, when you saw the cards on the table, what made you think they were Master Toneido's dying message? Well, it was a coded message right there next to the body. Sure, anybody would have thought that they were to name his killer. Love murder mysteries and often watch them on TV. Oh, I see! Saw a similar scene during a murder mystery marathon last Tuesday. Now, cause of death suffocation, nothing was found in his lungs. I assume that might be needed for one of the other testimonies he had. Something about him drowning in the noodles or something like that. Like, wouldn't there be broth in his lungs if that was the case? Just saying. Saw a similar scene during a murder mystery marathon last Tuesday. That's what made me think this must be a dying message. The stiff cards are right there next to the stiff, you see. The cards were on the table. Your master's body was slumped over, right? Must have been surprisingly calm to notice them at the time. As I said, the stiff cards are right there next to the stiff, so they were hard to miss. But wouldn't it have been more natural to notice the victim rather than the cards? This just caught my eye because the stiff cards are right next to the stiff. Oh, shut up. Yes, but the fact hardly seems significant enough to make a person take note of them. Stiff cards next to the stiff. So basically, there was no real reason for them to catch your eye, was there? The answer, no. Hey now, enough with the silly puns already, hee hee. Yeah, you better believe you're done with those puns. That's right, I need you to give me your testimony, not a performer scene. I almost said a seance. Please remember you're on the witness stand, not the stage. But look at all these wonderful people in the audience. It's only natural for an entertainer to want them to have some fun, hee hee. I guess we can let a few jokes slide, right? Oh, the inevitable bleeding of your work into other areas of your life. I know how that is. I find myself being unwittingly judgmental in my personal life, too. Right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Well done, Your Honor. Guess you can't judge a judge by his cover. Ho ho ho! I advise the defense not to be so critical of the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Much obliged, hee. Anyway, I got the meaning right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky. The cards do spell out wet number 4, which could be interpreted as wet noodle number 4, I guess. Suppose he took this to mean Bucky wet? There's only one wet noodle around here, and you've seen that giant 4 on his back. It's the only interpretation that makes sense. Yeah, I guess so. But wait a minute! What is it? What if there's another wet noodle in the area? What? Oh no, smoking is bad. What? Did I say something strange? Bucky is the sole heir to the shop. So enough of the ludicrous straw grasping. Hey, how was I supposed to know? Let's listen to the testimony again and find the glaring inconsistency. I'll try. I'll certainly try. That was the Master's final message left as he was drowning in soba broth. Yeah, sure. Sure he was. So the victim lined up his cards in his final moments? How can you be so certain that's how it went down? I know Shisho. He would never let someone get the last word on him, even in death. With his face in the soba broth, and his consciousness fading away. Not the message that pointed towards Bucky as he left this world. It's the only way it could have happened. Wait! The only way? Now you're just speculating. A dying message is something you leave as you're dying, right? I saw a scene like that in a detective show. Uendo, we have a saying in my country, silence is more precious than diamonds. Please do not speak any more than is necessary. Talking is my livelihood, you know. I talk all the time, this and that, truths and untruths. I can't stop myself from talking. Hopefully he'll stick to the truths without any of those untruths. Yeah, we don't need any untruths around here for sure. It's so like Shisho not to write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple wasn't his style. Speaking of which, I was kind of wondering, when Blackwell was shown from the front, they didn't like mirror his sprite, did they? Because I didn't really pay attention to that. I'm assuming if they mirrored his sprite, they would have put his hair on the right side and not the left, but... well, I don't know. I'll have to pay attention to that the next time I see him, or either that or look it up whenever the premiere comes up, or I'm editing the video, etc., etc. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm kind of curious. I have no idea, honestly. But don't you think it's strange? Could a dying person really leave such a convoluted message? In the throes of death, it was in Shisho's nature to throw in a twist somehow. Truly a consummate entertainer till the very end, don't you think? Excuse me. Was he really that great of a man, Simon? Like, this side view is one thing, because I think this was specially made for this game, because I don't remember that being in Dual Destinies. Just a matter of the front view from the defense stand is like, is that a thing? I wonder. I don't know, honestly. Would have been no easy task to be sure. But who knows? He wasn't an entertainer for 50 years for nothing. If I ever bite the big one like that, I want to leave a message as good as Shisho's, hee. Well, let's hope it never comes to that. Simon, are all Rakugo artists like this? It's hard to say. It could simply be the eccentricity of an entertainer. Perhaps he's hiding something. Excuse me. Well, he doesn't have to entertain people in a court of law. And if he is trying to hide something, maybe it'll show up in a contradiction or something. Maybe. So the thing I'm really noticing... Well, I don't think it's of any importance, but I was kind of trying to look to see his stance, because I know that's come up in a previous Ace Attorney game, like how they look and stuff, but I don't think there's anything that's going to prove that being a thing or not, because like, he's got this, he's got that, then he's got the freaking, I'm like all happy and excited thing, whatever, then he's kind of back to that, then he gets a little more serious. But anyway, I don't really know what I'm presenting to other than maybe this. And maybe this, because, I mean, nothing was found in his lungs. Nothing was found in his lungs. What else even is there? It's not like we got a lot of evidence to really go about working with here, you know? Here's showing a letter to the victim. The letter contained a simple greeting and a rundown of the show's program. Gira was to perform her balloon act, and Uendo was to do his soba glutton routine. And finally, Master Toneido was to perform the timed soba routine. Wait. Plain and simple wasn't his style. Yeah, okay.
Objection.
What? What? But it says it was simple, and he just said plain and simple wasn't his style! What the frick, man? I'm like, I literally talked myself out of my original thing because I was like, oh, plain and simple's not his style. Okay, well then what does it say? This is a... let me read this again! The letter contained a simple greeting! Dude! I'm upset right now. Like, I literally thought I thought maybe I was on the wrong track with this one because plain and simple and then simple. And it says the invitation signed received from Master Toneido. Master Toneido! It literally says who it's from, too. Okay, I'm going back to my original plan then in that case, because I don't think this is... Yeah, this isn't going to be it. That's not going to be it. I'm mad right now. I'm freaking mad. That was so stupid. I didn't even read that. Let me just go back to that. Knock knock, who's there? This evidence in that statement. Wait. This evidence in that statement, who? They contradict each other, that's who. That's not even the proper call and response for a knock knock joke. What's more, claim does not even make any logical sense. Dude! It makes so much sense! Performance merits neither applause nor leniency defense. Can I just, like, point it out? Like, hey, the simple message. Everyone's a critic. Cut me some slack. That is so maddening, I swear. Wasn't his style, yet he totally freaking went plain and simple on a freaking greeting to Simon. Whatever, man. Whatever. Okay. I mean... I don't know, there was just something about this, like there was two contradictions in the same freaking testimony. It didn't make any sense, man.
Objection.
I wish I didn't see that right there. I really wish I didn't see that, otherwise I would have freaking just done this from the start, not gotten a stupid strike, but... It's like, well, I mean... Oh my gosh, I don't know. When a testimony has two contradictions, it's so stupid. There's a contradiction in Uendo's testimony! And would you care to explain where, Miss Sykes? The fact that he said plain and simple, but clearly right here, it says that he wrote a simple letter to Simon Blackwell. Oh boy. Ugh, so dumb. Certainly, Your Honor. According to the autopsy report, nothing unusual was found in the victim's lungs. Maybe there's something unusual in my lungs. I got no idea. Oh, yes, it does say that, doesn't it? ... ... He's sweating? If he had drowned in a bowl of soba, then there should have been some soba broth in his lungs. Since there wasn't any... Also, didn't they say something about let's not worry about that too? I don't even know. Oh yeah. It means the victim was suffocated with something other than soba broth. Pew! What? This is a contradiction you notice, isn't it, Simon? It really doesn't help that they said let's not worry about that little detail right now, because like I don't get it, man. I shouldn't have said that. That was another reason why I kind of wanted to go for that one, because they said don't worry about it. Heh. Athena's theme is pretty nice in this game, from what I can tell so far. Anyway, not bad at all. Guess I showed you. But if drowning in the soba broth wasn't the cause of death, then when was the victim's face thrust into that bowl? Uendo Toneido's face was thrust in the bowl after his murder, obviously. Because no soba broth was discovered in the victim's lungs. His head must have been placed in the bowl after he was killed. And that's when the soba broth must have been spilled on the Karuta cards. In other words, the victim could not have lined up the cards as he was drowning. I see. So it was done after he was already dead. Why would the culprit do such a thing? I'm afraid I don't know yet. We gotta get to that first. Heh. You boast of psychological expertise, yet you can't even determine such a simple motive. My sides are liable to split at the absurdity. What? And I suppose you know why? Of course, desecrating the body in that manner indicates a strong sense of enmity on the part of the perpetrator. Excuse me. Yes, that does make sense. Certainly points to a clear picture of the culprit's intense feelings towards the victim. Feelings of resentment over the theft of the soba shop's deed, no doubt. Just great. Now the judge has even more of an unfavorable impression of Becky.
Silence.
Or Bucky, whatever. Becky! Must you come undone at every juncture? If the culprit had time enough to set up Master Toneido's body, do you think they would have honestly failed to notice the dying message? Good point. The cards were right in front of his body, after all. Rationally speaking, there's no way the culprit could have missed that, huh? But was the accused rational at the time, given the way he stormed out of that room?
Silence.
Okay, so his hair, they did do his hair right. They didn't, like, mirror him randomly or something. That very easily could have been what it was, but they did not mirror him. That's good. Never mind that. I have something more important to ask you, Nato. Me? You saw the Karuta cards firsthand, did you not? Would you care to tell us about them in a bit more detail? Those tiny crime scene photos show us precious little of what I wish to know. Well, those cards are from the Shisho special soba scenes of Tokyo Past set. Each card is related in some way to soba. Spare me the history lesson. Just tell me how the cards looked at the scene and no more. Well, there was soba broth spilled all over them. That's not much help, I'm afraid. Prosecutor Sadmati, do you have a photo that shows the cards more clearly? I do. Please accept this meager offering, Your Honor. Oh my, what delightful looking cards! I see nothing that looks off to me. It does definitely say wet number 4. As far as I can tell, anyway. I mean, maybe there's something that we're not understanding about this. Are one of these cards upside down? Not that I can tell. Well, well. Tearing prosecutor sad monk's conclusive evidence apart should be a breeze with this. I mean, his name doesn't mean sad monk, right? Huh? Don't tell me you haven't noticed. Don't be silly, of course I have. Why don't you freaking run up the defense, freaking Simon? Jeez Louise. Not notice anything, but I can't exactly say that I now, can I? Karuta cards added to the court record. I mean, geez, but how much you're freaking noticing? You might as well freaking just lead up the defense. I mean, what's stopping you from doing that exactly, huh? Miss Sykes, do you really see a problem with the prosecution's claim about these cards? Well, go on then. Alright, it's do or die. All I have to do is study the picture and... These cards were rearranged, containing a contradiction. Are a kind of riddle? I don't notice anything here. Am I supposed to? Oh, hold on. You know what? Yeah, rearrange seemed like the most likely one, but now that I'm looking at this, it definitely does seem like they were rearranged, because you can see that the spill mark is not very consistent with everything else. I mean, the 4 card is completely soaked. It's just odd. And then like the H for wet, that one's just like dry right in the middle of the broth. That makes no friggin' sense. Yeah, everything about this makes no sense. It's definitely rearranged for sure. Excuse me. These cards were rearranged! Well, how can you tell? Please take a good look at these cards, Your Honor. The answer is right in front of us. What exactly should we be looking for, Miss... Oh. Where exactly should we be looking, Miss Sykes? Pictures on the cards, the sober bra stains. The size of the cards. The sober bra stains, of course. Please focus your attention on the sober bra stains on these cards. The outline of these stains don't match up with the larger stain on the table. Oh, would you look at that? You're absolutely right. And... Please recall that the soba broth was spilled on and got on the cards after the murder. When the victim's face was placed in the bowl. Yes, go on. By the stains, we can see that the culprit deliberately rearranged the cards after that. In other words, this message was altered in order to pin the crime on my client. What? No, you put the cards back in their original positions. We can restore the evidence and see who the cards were really pointing towards. That's true. Polkunkin. Then what are we waiting for? Let's do this. All I have to do is rearrange the cards so that the stains match up. Let's see. Where was this W card originally? Well, I think I can tell. It looks like it's probably right over there. But I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I think we're going to go ahead and call this an episode today. And on the next exciting episode, everybody, we're going to go ahead and rearrange these cards and see what the hidden message of the cards actually is. What do you guys think the hidden message of the cards is? Because I got no freaking clue. I got literally no clue. I'm trying to think right now, like, what even could this be? I mean, are we using the exact same 7 cards? I don't understand what it could be. I really don't understand what it could be. Well, either way, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. What does matter is that next episode, we will find out what the message is, and we will keep on progressing through this case breaking it down one piece at a time. Simon Blackwell has joined our calls, and he's not helping us one bit, which is just great. Even though he seems to know literally everything. Good job, Simon. Thank you for the help. I really do appreciate it. But anyway, everyone, whether we have help or not, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna do this next time. So until then, everyone, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one, and bye-bye for today. Hello, everyone. You've reached the end of this video, but before we go for the day, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to the Tier 4 and 5 channel members, Phoenix Edgeworth, Acheron X2, Menthy, and Meister Papala. Thank you all for being awesome and supporting the channel. If you too would like to also get your name shouted out at the end of each video and live stream, shoutouts are available for all Tier 4 and 5 channel members. I hope you all have an awesome day. I'll see you all later.